Hey guys, it's Al from Altruistic Channel, and I just wanted to touch base. I know I've been kind of quiet lately, but I've kind of been working through the last of like the ramifications of my previous life, if you will. And so I've been kind of held up trying to do that. So I haven't forgotten about my Altruistic Channel or my intention to kind of engage the leaders of tomorrow. And I actually wanted to let you guys know that I'm actually working now on the podcasts that go along with kind of the more in-depth controversial topics or the things that I feel like we should maybe engage a little bit more. Each avenue has proven to have its own rewards. The altruistic channel is kind of a little bit more geared towards, developing the conversations that leaders will need to engage in. It's almost like we're touching on topics on a generalistic way, and its intent is to reach a wider audience. Whereas my book was a little bit more 100% geared at specific topic points and very, very in depth. So there was a middle ground that I needed to kind of address. And so the podcast on Anchor kind of fell into my lap because somebody said that I would do really well at it. And I just probably needed to find my vehicle. The thing with this is, though, with the Anchor platform, I find it a little bit more freeing in that I don't really care. Obviously, if you look at my hair, I kind of in that zone. I really don't care about how I look, but there is some narcissism and there's a little bit of like, oh, I don't look that great, or I look one way or the other. People have criticized me for like, XYZ factor, and I really don't care. But on the back end, to say that blankly is to be dishonest. I mean, everybody cares a little bit and has a little bit of vanity. So with this platform, I'm a little bit more geared towards actually just like talking in depth about each topic. And so I developed what I call the what if creator goes down the rabbit hole. And essentially what it is the what if creator is me, obviously, but it's like it brings up the conversation pieces that my brain kind of it's a train of thought. And so the what if creator basically takes you down the avenue of where my thought process is. And then the second part of that is the goes down the rabbit hole, which is actually then picking one of the more interesting topic points within that scope of whatever my train of thought is on something and goes in depth into the what if scenario, actually engages, well, what would happen then? And then what would happen? And then what would happen? And it's geared towards developing a little bit more of the strategist in all of us. I find that, there's a reason why strategists like me are in high demand is because we see everything from every different perspective, and it's a little bit hard to do that. But hopefully by engaging you guys across all the platforms, you'll be more willing to come along because you'll understand the intention behind everything. And I think sometimes the best clarity that you can get to broadening your scope of your reality is to take other people's perspectives into account. And so sometimes by not looking at the person and not maybe going, well, he has got big zits or he looks whatever or blah, 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 you're a little bit more able to kind of take in what person is saying as opposed to focusing on what it looks like, because a lot of us get stuck on the packaging. And so maybe by helping engage the auditory aspect, that maybe we'll reach a wider audience that's willing to kind of engage the topics beyond the social norms. And, if we want to lead this world, we have to realize that change is inevitable and it's on us right now. And the faster we find ways to actually engage all the platforms and kind of engage the best possible medium for us, for who we are, the better we will get results. And so that's kind of the intention behind it. So I'm still very much about Altruistic Channel. Obviously, Altruistic Productions is kind of where I'm at. It's always been my dream to build a school one day for the leaders, for people who have spatial intelligence or are gifted in strategy or gifted in one of the many intelligences. I'm still on the fence on the emotional intelligence because I think sometimes we put a little bit too much focus on one topic over the other, and the educational system, I think, needs to be looked at in a way that is all-encompassing and kind of makes sure that no child is left behind, essentially, is what it comes down to. When you focus just on one intelligence and you deny the others, you're denying those beings that are gifted in those areas. And so I'm struggling with the emotional intelligence aspect because I feel like that's the hot topic right now. Just like last week, it was strategy intelligence. And so hopefully you guys are still interested, and I hope you're still engaged. Perspective is very key, and so learning other people's perspective is always important. And so I'm kind of focusing I think a little bit more on that. And so as the Altruistic Channel will continue to go on very happily, I might add, when I get my hair done or whatever the fuck I'm going to do, I'm going to be back on. But I just wanted to touch base and let you guys know that Altruistic Channel is very much still alive, and that I'm not denying any part of me. It's just that I am finding my path, and my path is kind of a little bit broader sometimes. And so each thing has its purpose, and each thing has its intent, and there is plenty for you to look at on Altruistic Channel. I think there's like 50 something videos on there, but it's a little hard sometimes when you're focused on how you look to focus on the topic itself, and so I feel like I'm a little generalistic at times. And so each one will have its purpose. Each one obviously does, and each one has its reward. And so I'm not denying anything. I'm still very much dedicated to the leaders of tomorrow and to engaging all of the conversations we need to be having that I feel like we're not doing because of political correctness or whatever, what have you. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that it's very much still ongoing. But if you guys are interested, it's called the What If Creator Goes Down the Rabbit Hole on Anchor, which is a podcast system. And I'm finding that very rewarding. It's very easy to use. And of course, on YouTube, I love YouTube, and I'm still never going to leave YouTube. So all of it's still going. I'm still alive, and I'm still kicking. A lot of good things are happening, and it started all with Altruistic Channel. So I just wanted you guys to know that. And like always, have you made a mistake today? Can't lead without following. Can't lead without falling. Can't lead without having first followed. Anyway,